What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, you're watching TWA Motorsports, and we are back in the shop trying to get my daily driver fixed in today's video. So remember, I told you guys a while back, first of all, I've been really busy, but this thing, I think, guys, the pulley is bad. I'm gonna get a light. Actually, I think if it's charged up, I may use my hood light in this situation. But yeah, let's shed some light on the situation. Let's see if maybe we don't even have to take this intake tube loose. That would be awesome. Now, chances are I'm not that lucky, but let's start there. Got my hood light on there, but it does not shine down where we need it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys here what we're going to be replacing. You see that idler pulley right there? That is what I'm hoping is the culprit. Now, GM in their infinite wisdom decided, hey, we're going to put stretch belts on these cars now. So it's a one-time use. You know what that means? We're going to cut this one off. Maybe. Holy cow, that thing is tough. Okay, I'm going to see if I can put the camera down and get a little bit of an angle here. Get that belt cut. Well, it took a little doing, but we got it. Also, probably a good idea to make note of how it was routed. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. There's not a lot for it to go around because we don't have power steering, so it goes around the harmonic balancer down there, obviously around the water pump, the alternator, and then this pulley that we think is the culprit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to route this thing out of here. And honestly, guys, the belt looks like it isn't in the greatest shape. It is a GM original belt still. Now that we got that off, okay, I have no noise in that. Let's spin this one though. There's no noise in that either. I don't know, guys. That's not real promising to me. Oh, I don't want to change a water pump. I really don't. All right, let me go get what looks like a 15 millimeter. We'll get this old pulley off. I got that thing loose, and it is indeed a 15 millimeter. You're going to have to use a shallow socket, though, because there's just not a lot of room there. Now I can see why the water pump requires you to remove the fans, which requires removing half the front of the truck. Such a dumb idea. Man, I miss the LS stuff. A little easier to work on, I'll be honest with you. And I'm trying to get this thing out. Otherwise, okay, look, I've obviously got an aftermarket intake. If you don't have an aftermarket intake, it's going to require a little more work on your end. I did notice, though, I'll show you here in a second. Okay, I'm going to have to change hands. This one's running out of gas. You can see we got it started. The new pulley came with a new belt, or not a new belt, but a new bolt. I'm trying to show you what's going on here, but look, I took the bolt out of the middle, which by the way has a little washer to like keep it from falling down, but look at the buildup in there. And I don't know if this is normal, but it sure isn't swinging very easy. It's got a lot of drag on it. And there is a little bit of, like, it's kind of rough in a spot there. All right, let's go grab the new one out of the box. Now look, whenever possible, try to use GM parts. Guys, I just don't trust Parts House stuff anymore. It just seems like junk. Okay. Yeah, this one feels a lot better. And see what I'm talking about? While it has something to keep this bolt from falling out of place. I don't know. Same size. Oh, it's got a little thick. Oh, it's a little thicker. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the ribbing is a little thicker on this one. I think they redesigned it. Let's go ahead and start this, and I got to look up the torque spec. I'm not exactly sure on torque specs. I can't find any good info out there. So I'm going to put it down to 37. It's what all the LS stuff goes to. Guys, look, I got to believe most people just put it on by hand. So I'm going to put the 15 on here. I've got it set for 37. let's go ahead and lock that thing down. I got the new belt after getting that torqued down. Now this may require me jacking this thing up and taking the panel off the bottom. We'll just have to see. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna route it around everything and try to get it. So we're gonna route it around this, the balancer, or part of the balancer, the water pump, and the pulley that we put on. But it's not gonna go completely on the balancer, but that is how we're gonna attempt to get this thing into place or stretch it into place. We're gonna try to use the zip tie method. I know there's a lot of videos out there illustrating that, and that is the method I'm gonna give a shot here. Well, there's no other way around it. I'm gonna have to lift this thing up. I've got a zip tie started down there, but I'm not gonna be able to show you guys very well. And I dropped my light down there, and it's in that plastic apron on the bottom of the truck. So let me jack this thing up. Let's see if we can get under the front of it, take that splash panel down. That'll give me a little better access to swing the 24mm, hope to get this thing on. Now we've got it supported with the jack stand, the jack. You can see there's 13mm there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's get this plate out of the way. Now that that's out of the way, you can kind of see what I'm trying to accomplish there. I've got it started with the zip ties. And so then what I'll do is once it's started with the zip ties, we'll grab the 24mm and we're going to crank this thing over. And then once it's on, you need to cut the zip ties, obviously. So make sure you don't roll up your belt all weird. I'm gonna try to push it on a little better than that. Maybe get another zip tie, but I'm gonna try to use 5 or 6 zip ties. This is what we've got. Let's go grab our 24mm, see if we can roll this thing around. Well, it worked, but it only goes so far, obviously, until it runs into the AC belt. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and cut my zip ties. We're gonna set this thing down, fire it up. Well, I don't know. I may go ahead and put the plate back on because I'm not ready to put the power, like if it's not the pulley and the belt, then I'm not quite ready to do the rest of it. But let me cut this off. Let's get the plate back on here with the 13mm and see what happens. Who's on the Travis Fixed It train and who says it's the water pump? Let's see. I think I left the key in it. Maybe I didn't. No, I gotta go grab the key. All right, that'll give you guys time to go down in the comments and let me know if you think I actually fixed it or if we're gonna have to have a water pump. Guys, it was really coming from that area, so I thought that for sure that was the problem. Now, that doesn't mean that it is, but God, it sure seems like it. Let's see what happens. I didn't unhook anything. Please be quiet now. I don't feel like I hear it. Hey, the belt's staying on, that's good. Ooh, I don't know, guys. I still feel like I hear it a little bit. Maybe it's just in my head. Let's rev it up a little bit. Gone. That was it. Okay, look. Sometimes you screw up and get something right, you know? So here's what I did. There's really no way to like pinpoint down there what pulley's making issues. So when my dad was over here the other night, it's kind of hard to do, but I took a piece of pipe and I set it on that piece of metal right behind the tensioner while the engine was running. Now be careful if you're gonna do that. I set it on the water pump, had a little bit of vibration. Sometimes you could kind of put it up to your ear, but the pipe wasn't long enough. So I set it on that one, it had a little bit of vibration, but when I set it on the idler, it had a ton of vibration, like it was moving a lot. So that's what made me think it was possibly the idler. And look, that looks like what the problem was. So hopefully you guys enjoyed me stumbling through that. I'm gonna try to find, I should have access to the torque specs at work, so I will try to list that in the description down below, or maybe even possibly put it on the end of this video if I get a chance to. But either way, I'll try to list it. But 37 foot-pounds, I don't think you can go wrong with that. Like I said, that's what all the LS pulleys and stuff, everything that bolts to a piece of aluminum, that's generally what it goes down to. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If something else pops up on this truck, water pump, alternator, obviously you guys will see it here. But if you did enjoy this video, please, like always, smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are not subscribed, go down, hit that subscribe button. Of course, like always, ring that bell notification. That will notify you every single time we drop a new video on this or anything else. Stay tuned to see what we crank out next.